Hey everybody, hope everybody's staying cool. I got a customer request for this video to show their hand controls installed on the Ram 1500, and I said I would also go over a couple of their frequently asked questions. Let me pause here and remind everybody to like and subscribe, and then here we go. So the first question is well, how do I get hand controls? Who decides on what kind of hand controls? And the answer to that is pretty simple. It's not me. It's not me. There's an evaluator, a driver rehabilitation specialist, that determines with that individual what equipment they need to drive a vehicle. And in this case, it happens to be push rock hand controls, mechanical, and a spinner knob. And so these are MPS push rocks, so you always push for brake, and then it rocks back for gas. And then the other hand will be on the spinner knob controlling the steering. And then we'll shoot down here. And as you can see, I notched out the dash. So I put this trim guard on here to kind of give it a finished edge. I notched out the dash for two reasons. Number one, to get these rods up as high as they can so that the customer can have as much leg room, or their spouse can hop in and use the foot pedals, still have a bunch of leg room. And if they're not using the hand controls, you push this little red knob here, locks them out, so that way you can't use the gas. And then down here I was going to show you, we have a brake rod and accelerator rod. The brake also has a brake return spring on it, because if we're adding a little bit of weight to this pedal, we want to make sure we're lifting up and pulling that up. And then this gas rod over here, this clamp, this bar was actually over on this side when it comes shipped with these set screws. You can't just flip the whole thing because there's honeycomb hollow on this side, so the set screws wouldn't go into anything. So I had to flip this bar over, and the reason that I put it on this side is because if the bar is over here between the gas and the brake, if the spouse gets in to use their feet, there's a chance that their toes would hit that bar. And so by putting it far here on the outside, they're less likely to have that sort of an issue. We have to do this stuff. There's regulations, not just the manufacturer's recommendations, but also NEMITA guidelines that we have to follow. So it's not just, do whatever you want sort of install. There are other processes in place and guidelines. And then after I'm done installing it, we have to have another technician come over and inspect my work. It's a quality assurance program that we have, just to make sure if I've left something loose or something doesn't fit right or it's not working. We would rather catch that rather than a customer be on the road or experience an issue. The other thing we have to do is we have to lock out the steering, because if the hand controls are set in a position and somebody moves the steering wheel down and hits them, it could bind them up, it could apply the gas, do other things, so we lock out the steering too. But I think that's about it. And that's all we have for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe.